Hello and welcome to your 9 p.m. daily quiz. I hope all of you are doing good. I welcome you all to this session where we discuss the most important news stories for the day from the prelims examination point of view by taking these stories from the Hindu newspaper, the Indian Express, the Down to Earth, PIB, and such other sources and converting them into prelims specific questions. If you're new here, I have a couple of requests. First, please do hit the like and the subscribe button. I would highly appreciate that. And secondly, go and check out my app. I have an app on the Android Play Store. The name of the app is Harshmeet Study Circle. You can download the app from the description of the video. You can check out all the other courses that I offer, including the personal mentorship programs for prelims, mains answer writing, PSIR comprehensive course. These are live classes that we have Monday to Friday for those who have PSIR as an optional subject. If you also want the PDF of these lectures, I share these PDFs on my Telegram channel. The link to join that again is in the description of this video. Let's begin with the first question then. Consider the following statements with regards to lithium mining. Number one, lithium brine extraction is a process in which salt-rich water is pumped to the surface and into a series of evaporation ponds to eventually obtain lithium. Second, in the Atacama Desert, it takes 2,000 tons of water to produce 1 ton of lithium. And third, chemicals such as sulfuric acid and sodium hydroxide are used for lithium extraction. How many of these are correct? Now, lithium, as you know, is one of the most sought after minerals right now because of its extensive applications, especially in EVs, solar panels, etc. This is where such kind of questions related to these mineral resources, the mineral distribution around the world are important. As you know, one of the countries where the largest reserves of lithium are found is Chile. This is the country with respect to which this question has been asked. So lithium brine extraction means you would pump in salt-rich water. That is absolutely true. Second is also correct. One of the reasons why it is in a lot of news and controversy is that in order to extract lithium in an area which is already a desert, means there is lack of water, you have to pump in 2,000 tons of water to get 1 ton of lithium. And that is why there are question marks over the feasibility of this process. Third is also true. These chemicals are used here, and that is also something which makes it extremely interesting and debatable as well. The answer thus here is C. All the three statements here are absolutely correct. There's an article in the Indian Express newspaper about how Chile's Atacama salt flat is sinking due to lithium mining because of a lot of water extraction that is happening. Next, question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to the newly proposed unified pension scheme. First, the unified pension scheme promises retirees a fixed pension, unlike the NPS, a new pension scheme. So there are three pension schemes mainly that are in the news: the old pension scheme, which was replaced by old pension scheme, and now we have the unified pension scheme. Second, under unified pension scheme, upon a retiree's death, their immediate family would be eligible for 50% of the pension last drawn by the retiree. Third, the UPS will be applicable to all those retired under the NPS. It is a new pension scheme from 2004 onwards. How many of these are correct? Now, again, there's a lot of talk about these pension schemes. It has been made into a big poll promise and a poll debate by the opposition parties. Many states ruled by the Congress and also by the Aam Aadmi Party like Punjab have moved back to the old pension system. With that, the government thought that there is a requirement or there is a need to bring in some reforms in the new pension scheme, and that is why UPS, that is Unified Pension Scheme, has been launched now. First is correct, it will give a fixed income. Second is wrong. Upon the death of the retiree, family member would get 60% of the pension drawn and not 50%. Third is also true, it will be applicable to those who are covered under NPS from 2004 onwards, because 2004, when Atal Bihari Vajpayee government was in power, was the time that this new pension scheme was introduced. So the answer thus is 2 of these are correct. Second statement is wrong. First and third here are correct. There's an article in detail in the Indian Express about UPS versus NPS versus OPS. Do read this. This is important for your examination. Question number 3. The Ramsar Convention defines wetlands as areas of marsh, fen, peatland or water whether natural or artificial, permanent or temporary, with water that is static or flowing, fresh, brackish or salt, including areas of marine water, the depth of which at low tide does not exceed dash meters. How many meters is it talking about? So what should be the minimum depth of water for it to be considered as a Ramsar site? How many meters? 4, 5, 6, or 7? This is a definition given by the Ramsar Convention. The answer here is 6 meters. So at the static level, the minimum depth should be at least 6 meters. So correct answer here is C. Indian Express again has this article about the importance of Ramsar sites and why do the wetlands need protection. As you know, India recently declared 3 new Ramsar sites, 2 in Tamil Nadu and 1 in Madhya Pradesh. We discussed this also in one of the earlier questions in the daily quiz. Next is question number 4. Consider the following statement about GM crops, that is genetically modified crops in India. First, apart from BT cotton, no other GM crop has been approved for last 22 years, that is in India. Second, US, Brazil, Argentina, India and Canada are the 5 top GM growing countries, targeting or together rather accounting for approximately 90% of area of the GM cultivation. Third, the GM crops were first introduced in the US in 1994, called flavor saver potato, with the objective to slow down ripening process, delaying softening and rotting. How many of these are correct? Now, GM crops have always been in the news. Every few months, you have the government trying to push the regulatory processes, and you have the farmer groups protesting against it. This is in the news again because the farmer groups again had a meeting to object against government trying to give a push to new GM crops in the country. With that in mind, first and second statements are true. Third is wrong. The first ever GM crop in US was actually a tomato. It was called flavor saver tomato and not potato. Thus, the answer here is B. 2 of these statements here are correct. We have taken this article from the Down to Earth website. This is an article about how GM crops are undesirable for India as per the farmer leader. They have again held a meeting to stress that the government should not go ahead with this. Next question number 5. Consider the following statements with regards to baobab trees. First, baobab trees can reach extraordinarily old ages, so they can be very, very old. Second, radiocarbon dating has repeatedly found baobabs well over 1,000 years old, with the oldest among them reaching 2,500 years in age. Third, these trees are not found in India, they are mainly found in Africa. How many of these given statements are correct? Now, you all would have seen these trees. These are usually seen in Africa, Madagascar, etc. In fact, it is seen in more than 30 countries in Africa. It is important because of this article in the Down to Earth website, how the researchers have found out that this is one of those trees that has not had any negative impact of climate change. Despite climate change, despite increasing temperature, there is no sign that says that this tree and its cultivation is declining. So it is a very, very good sign going forward. With that in mind, first and second statements are true. Third is wrong. In fact, in Madhya Pradesh, in Mandu, we have a fair bit of cultivation of these trees, and there is a lot of stories about it. How might it have come to Madhya Pradesh? How specifically in one town we have a lot of cultivation of baobabs. It is known by local names there, but it is found in India as well. The answer thus is only 2 of these are correct. That is B. The third statement here is incorrect. There is an article, as I said, in the Down to Earth website, how Africa's unique trees are defying climate change challenges and they are continuing to flourish, which is a positive sign going forward. To end the session, here is an infographic for you. The Government of India has released an infographic, seems like specifically designed for UPSC aspirants so that you can remember and learn about the Unified Pension Scheme. Here are all the important points about the Unified Pension Scheme that will help you remember this for the prelims examination. All these are important pointers. First, and there's a second page also. This is the second page. Do remember all of this. This is important for the examination. This brings me to the end of today's session. I hope all of you learned something new. If you're new here, do hit the like and the subscribe button. Do download my app as well. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.